So Sony just announced the brand new Xperia 1 Mark VI, and this phone is packed with some exciting new features such as a brand new telephoto lens that gives us real optical zoom up to 170mm. On top of that, it's also equipped with natural macro shooting, the latest and greatest AI features, fantastic image quality, extended battery life, and a ton more. Now, Sony says that this right here is the best smartphone camera on the market at the moment. So my friends, today I'm taking you guys with me here on a little journey to the countryside where we're trying to figure out how good is this camera actually in real life situations. Am I able to get some professional looking photos and videos using it? And are the new updates actually good or simply just gimmicks? Well, let's find out. Guys, welcome to the archipelago. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that word. So for the next 20 minutes or so, me and you are gonna have a good time and hang out together and really trying to put this new phone to the test. Now, honestly, the first thing that really stands out to me is the wide range of focal lengths you can get in just a single smartphone. You see, just like on the previous model, then you have 3 different lenses, a 60mm ultra wide angle, a 24mm wide angle, and then an upgraded true optical zoom of 85 to 170mm. On top of that, they've also now added a 48mm focal length, meaning that we're kind of covered for so many different scenarios. So the added focal length we get now is up to 170mm of optical zoom, which is pretty cool, especially on a smartphone. And just to demonstrate the amount of zoom that you get, then over there, pretty far away there, then we can see person or 2 persons. And this is with a 60mm, but as soon if we just take up the camera and have the 170mm, then it would look something like this. Now the 85 to 170mm focal length, it's kind of just perfect for portraits. So all of you guys that are watching and like to take photos of people, you are in for a treat. Personally, then I've been playing a little bit around with it, photographing kind of just my kids and their friends, because if I'm gonna be completely honest with you, then I'm kind of not really a portrait photographer. Landscape photography, however, and street photography too, that's where my heart is. I absolutely love that. And I think usually when people think about those types of photography, they're thinking wide angle, 60mm, 25mm, but I personally really like the 85 to 170 or even above for that type of photography, because you get that compressed look. So for me, having that on this phone has been absolutely gold, even on the older Xperia 2, when you can have this optical zoom, because the compression is just, everything looks so big and so epic when you use a telephoto lens in landscapes and street photography as well. Now, 2 things that I want to add: that it's really sunny outside today, really sunny. I'm hoping that some clouds will roll in. I think it's going to roll in. It's usually this time of the year when there's sun and rain and the weather can't really decide. But when it's this sunny outside, the sunlight is so harsh, which is not my favorite type of daylight. However, it does make me have to think a little bit more, because it's more of a challenge. And also going in the woods here is so pretty, and you get all of them shadows. So I'm not complaining there. Secondly, is that I've never really fully put the new Bokeh mode to the test. It wasn't on the Xperia 1 Mark V, so I haven't really tried it out properly, and I want to try it out. So you're gonna do it with me. Now, I am not gonna be fully fair to Sony here. I found a tree branch over there, which is a really tricky shot. So if the artificial Bokeh can nail this, because you know how tree branches are, there are these leaves all over, this a pine tree even, so all over the place. So if you can do it there, then then it's sick, okay? All right, my friends, I'm coming at you back here with another hot voiceover. So here I'm using the Bokeh mode, and I heard from a friend that it's good to lower the intensity of the brightness and then adding up the temperature a little bit. So you see me playing around with those sliders. Then I'm also just playing around with a few different focal lengths and also messing with the intensity of the bokeh itself, and honestly just really putting this to the test. Alright you guys, so it is moment of truth. I am gonna check how this looks in the phone and see how it is on the screen here. Let's take a look. Alright, this is pretty nuts. Truth be told, I've never been a huge fan of these artificial bokehs that you can see on devices, because I've always found that they are kind of too digital, but this looks really good. Wow. And I mean, this is on a pine tree, so it should be super hard. I was not going easy on you, Sony, there. I've been using Xperia for quite so many years. My first Xperia was the Pro I, and then I had the Mark IV, Mark V, and now this Mark VI. And one thing that I'm noticing here is that they've actually made the app a lot simpler, or they've compressed all of the other apps. If you used Xperia before, they have this Cinematic Pro, Videography Pro, Photography Pro, and then the regular app. And now they put all of them apps into one. So it's honestly really simple to use. It's a lot cleaner in my opinion. I like this a ton. Now there is one thing that they are going to update in video mode. They are going to give us that to film a lot the Video Pro app again. So in the next update, as I understood, we will get it, and then we get total control. Plus, another cheeky little update I noticed is that now you can actually make the screen 50% brighter than previously. This is a really welcomed upgrade if you ask me, because when you're out in a sunny environment like now, then it's much easier to see what you're doing on the screen. You guys remember before when I was asking and wishing for some clouds to roll in? I'm hoping that some clouds will roll in. Well, I got my wish, granted. I've had clouds rolling in, but we got them super boring, extremely high clouds with zero texture at all. I feel like sometimes you have to be careful what you ask for, because this is the most boring thing. There's nothing happening in the sky. But fear not, my friends. Clouds or no clouds, the journey must continue. It doesn't matter if it's over the sea or through the thick Swedish forest, we will find the answers we came all this way looking for. Is this phone really worth it? Alright, so I found a bunch of sheeps here, kind of random, but let's try out the 4K 120 frames a second, the super slow motion. This phone is also equipped with it. I haven't tried it on this phone yet, so let's see what it can do, Right, so I'm reviewing the footage here on the phone. To my eyes, this looks pretty great, especially I was filming everything, or mostly everything, on the zoom lenses, because of both the sheeps are kind of far away, and I want to get the compression. It just looks so epic. Put something in the foreground and move the device a little bit, and you get this super dynamic moving shot. I like that a ton. And I mean, yeah, it looks good. Also, everything is in Cinetone, so it just looks nice straight off the camera. And one thing that I did notice is that they've added this slow-mo tab. So now you can just go in the slow-mo tab and it's gonna film slow motion for you in the camera. But if you want to get full control and slow it down in post-production, you can go in video and film in like 4K 120 frames per second. So the slow-mo tab is new. I can see that. That's nice. Then you can just get it straight out. I like it. Yeah, it's not a bad addition. As I've been hanging out here with you guys and running around this forest photographing a ton, then one thing that strikes me as like a pretty cool update is the macro lens. You see, usually when I've tried macro lenses on other phones, it's like almost always a wide angle. And I've always thought like, why wide angle? Because usually when I use macro lens on my real camera, it's a telephoto lens, a 90mm or 100mm plus. And on the Xperia now, the macro lens is a 120mm macro lens. You can like go up to 4 centimeters close to the subject. So it's like this close. It's really close, you know. And I think the magnification is like 2x. Now, important to note with macro photography with this phone is that we open up the app and then we go all the way to more and press Telephoto Macro. You have here, this is the display of course, and what you can see is that there is this manual focus. It's not hard at all. If you just press the peaking mode, you can take the peaking off and then you can see the focus peaking. The green things that you see here, this is where the focus is. And then you basically just slide it where you want it to be. And all of the macro photos I've tried out here is just handheld and is finding the focus. And something that is of interest, go as close as you want and then just snap photo and see the world through, you know, the nerdy macro photography eyes, you know. Now at this point then I'd been hiking for a few hours trying to reach a watchtower that I've just only heard of. And I realized that I'd forgotten to take with me any food or water. So running on none of these, plus the sunset, it wasn't too far away. So my friends, I decided to try to cut corner. However, that ended up being a big mistake. So I tried to cut corners and go like into the woods. I saw on the maps that where I'm going to, which is like a watchtower, is just somewhere in that direction. However, now I'm kind of lost. I have no idea where I am. There's like a wetland here. I cannot cross this river. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's like a huge swamp here. There's no way to me to get to the side, you know. And in forest, everything looks the same. I'm from Iceland and the trees are like this big, and we have a saying that is like, if you ever get lost in a forest in Iceland, just stand up, because the trees ain't that big there, you know. But here, everything looks the same, so I kind of don't know, because there wasn't any path. I just went straight ahead and chopped myself through the woods, and now man, this is like, okay, I'll figure this out. I mean, what is this place? I feel like somebody started to build like some sort of a structure or a bridge here over, and then they were like, nah, this is where dreams come to die, and they just stopped. All right, this is sketchy. Oh, no. These are okay. All right, so I feel like I should just get out of here. I got some cool photos, I think, and I do not want to be here when it's like dark outside. This is, I would not find my way back. Now at last I made it out of this mess and eventually found the tower that I've been looking for. That was of course celebrated with a bunch of selfies. One can never have too many of them selfies. I also ended up running up all of these stairs, enjoyed these magnificent views, and thanks to this zoom lens then I noticed that some of these are private islands with big villas on them. Guys, that's honestly just insane. So, you know, can't you like just smack the like button on this video so you're like helping out your favorite Icelandic photographer to maybe one day also get a, you know, big private villa on a private island. By the way, I just want to show you this real quickly, is that I always underexpose my photo, whether it is with my camera or with my smartphone. Then I just like to underexpose them ever so slightly, because it's much easier to retrieve the shadows than the highlights when you're editing in post-production. And I know how far I can push my devices, whether it's my camera or the phone. And thanks to like the image processor that the Xperia has, which is like Exmor T for mobile, it's a powerful image sensor and a dynamic range. it's quite good, especially if you consider that this is just like a small smartphone, then it's great. So you can definitely push the colors around a little bit and push the dynamic range and in the post-production, and that's why I underexposed it just slightly. Alright, so the sun is about to set here over the archipelago. I am gonna try out the 48 megapixel as a new addition to this phone. Never tried it before, so it's gonna be fun. Let's see if we can get any type of photos here, and yeah, then we're gonna barbecue and try out some like low light photos, and see what that's all about, okay? So I've been looking at these 48 megapixel photos on the screen on the phone, and to me they look like pretty sharp and nice. Now I haven't seen them in like the full like big computer screen, so I honestly can't wait to see it there, because this I find rather interesting and a nice little update. Now it is really dark in this direction, or just like dark in general. Let's see and try out the like how good is this phone in like low light environments, and this has to classify as like extremely low light, right? Okay, so I'm not kidding here. This is like I can barely see what I'm cooking, but this is what the photos are looking like, and this is handheld. If I put it on a tripod, it would be even better, but it's still like I can totally see. I mean, this is some crazy computer magic wizardry going on there. I don't know what I'm supposed. This is just nuts. Good morning, my friends. Wow, I always sleep good in the van. It was a nice night. It is like 5 a.m. and we're gonna head out, take a few photos, try the phone a little bit more, and then I am gonna give you guys my like opinion of it and what I think after all of this usage now. So let's I think I have sleeping beard now, right? Let's fix the sleeping beard and then let's head out and get some photos, okay? I don't know if you can see, but we have like this mist coming in through the sunrise here. Wow. Wow, things can get so pretty when you're out in nature. By the way, it is cold outside. I think you can kind of see, you know, my breath. And you know it's cold. This, yeah. Welcome to the spring in North, you know. So one thing I haven't really touched on yet and haven't kind of had the chance to try out here, because I'm more or less just been alone photographing and filming more or less just static object, and that is the autofocus. However, I can comment on it because I tried it out a few days ago and it is nuts. So the Xperia 1 Mark 6 is equipped with the same autofocus as the newer Alpha cameras, which is like powered by AI, and not only has it like top of the line this real-time eye autofocus and real-time tracking, which you could find on the like Mark 5, but also now the phone can map out the entire subject and know where it is, and based on that, it can keep that in frame. And I use this all the time on my regular camera, and it is nuts because it means that I can like move away, and the camera or the camera here knows where my eye should be. So if I even look away, it just knows where the eyes is because it mapped me out. It is so like I feel that Sony is like pioneering and always pushing the autofocus forward, and now they crank the latest and greatest autofocus technology in the phone as well. And yeah, I know I'm a Sony fanboy to the death, but man, this is some mind-blowing things. And in a phone, it's even crazier. Alright, so the sun is fully up now. Now I'm running on no coffee, but luckily my car has a kitchen, so let's make yourself a little cup, and then I'm gonna tell you guys the opinions and all you have to know if you should get this phone or if you should just not get it. Alright, so what do I then think about the Xperia? Is it the best smartphone camera on the market? And like, do I recommend it? So what I've always liked about the Xperia phones from like the perspective of a photographer is not just that it kind of feels like a little camera and also the control we have, but the images themselves, they feel more like they're coming from a real camera. For instance, just like many other phones that I've tried, they like smartphones have a problem with them being too like overly digital or like overly sharpened and all that. But with an Xperia, it feels like pretty natural, and I like that a ton. I also feel like they really tried to make this a mini camera. I mean, they have a little shutter button, and this is like just a tiny little detail, but it's really nice when you're out photographing and filming too, because you just have to click like this and it feels kind of like a little camera, and it is. And I've like that it's just lightweight and I can whip it up and film. I was drinking my coffee there and there was a boat going over. My camera wasn't close by, but my phone was, so I just grabbed it and but it's holding in the shutter button. You open up the app immediately and you can then click it and you start to film. Not bad. However, is it the best smartphone camera on the market today? Well, truthfully, then I haven't tried all brands, so it's really hard for me to comment on that. But what I can say is that this is an absolutely phenomenal little device. So if you're looking for a camera that can also make phone calls, then the Xperia 1 Mark 6 is definitely a camera that I do recommend, and a phone. It's sick.
And yeah, before I forget, then 85% of all the plastic used to build this phone is recycled plastic, which is a part of Sony's Road to Zero, where they're working towards zero environmental footprint. That's pretty cool if you ask me.
But what about cameras? I mean, what is the best first Sony camera to pick in 2024? Well, you need to watch this video next to find the answer to that question.